that's right. Hold up a second. This hat feels proper. If I'm gonna play a game and I'm wearing a blue shirt, this feels proper. Asha. And we're listening to the Glitches music, and we are playing with our legitimate controller. Hell yeah, dude. Y'all know Frogger has multiplayer? No, I personally did not know that. But we're gonna look at this stuff. Heck yeah, he may be a little late, but doing it better than not doing it. No, actually, Mr. Son Goku, the reason that this is even happening is because I hung out with, hey, if you have not seen, hey, Son Goku, I know who you are. I am not gonna say who you are out loud. No, you will actually like, Super Joe Bros. He actually has some really good stuff. He's one that I actually highly recommend that you go and subscribe to. Mills knows. He's got some good stuff. Super Joe Bros. December, he is all about the Goku. You like DK64? Super Joe Bros. Also really likes DK64. You would really like the stuff that he does. He's about that life. He's one that I recommend. He's very good, and he talks about it more of a descriptive manner than I think I personally give it. And this is also the Arcanine that I intend to, after we have the Cleffa that I want. This is the Arcanine we're gonna use to breed with our I think our Ditto. Because right now, the Clefairy is breeding with Meryl, and they're getting that Amnesia Cleffa which will be Clefairy. So we're gonna have Amnesia Clefable, and is gonna be used, which is technically legitimate. And I say technically, Amnesia Clefable in Gen 1. It is not an improper thing to have happen, but that's what's gonna happen. The only reason that I say it's technically considered like an improper kind of thing is because Clefairy and Clefable does not learn Amnesia naturally in Gen 1. But in Gen 2, Cleffa/Clefairy, so which means mostly Cleffa, learns Amnesia through an egg move, through Meryl, and Meryl can get it through Slowbro. And I have a Slowbro with Amnesia because I played through Gen 1. I like my Gen 1 Slowbro, and I have a male Gen 1 Slowbro. And we have it breeding a Meryl that has Amnesia, and that Meryl is bleeding with a Clefairy, and that is how we are getting Amnesia legitimately into a Clefairy that will be in Gen 1. That's how that's gonna go. So Clefable with Amnesia in Gen 1 is kinda gonna wreck house, along with the other mons that I have that are gonna go alongside it. Best Pokemon pickup line. Let me get a Pikachu. No, so what my wife, so Mills, if I don't know, this is where it sucks. I don't know the legitimacy of it, but if you know the old Gen 1, Gen 2 Pokemon rhyme love letter that was made back in the early mid 2000s, technically that was written by my wife, and and she posted it to Tumblr. And once things get posted to Tumblr, it just becomes widespread. So if there's any Gen 1, Gen 2, like Pokemon Gen 1 rhymes that have anything to do with Rapidash and anything else like that, like, dude, technically, there's a real chance anything that has to do with Pikachu, Rapidash, something like that, more than likely it was written by my wife. And the chances of that are incredibly high. And if I... Oh, holy shnikes. No, hold on. Wait, no. I can prove that stuff. Give me a quick second. Hold up. That's a real controller falling down. Hey, Jess, do you still have that, like, letter there? Okay, if it's buried, I won't look. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm just spitting raspberry to the dog. I found it immediately. Yeah. Okay, so it was apparently done by the creator of Smash. What? No, dude. Hey, this was written shortly after Jess and I met.
Just make sure you show them they know the artwork's not mine.
No. They're not gonna see it, but they're gonna hear the words,
Okay.
and the words were yours. Yeah. Charmanders are red. Swirls are blue. If you were a Pokemon, I'd choose you. Your smile is stronger than a hyper beam. Like Jesse and James, we make the perfect team. That's a fact, hon. I'd stay on your side like Pikachu and Ash, and I love you more than a level 80 Rapidash. Which is good stuff. You're more legendary than Zapdos, Entei, or Mew, but out of all 450, I choose you. So if anything, if any of that sounds familiar to you, that means it was written by my gal. If any of that sounds familiar, it's from her. And she walked away, so I don't get to see how she reacts to me hearing that, but like, yes. Like, dude, we're still together, and she wrote that well before we were even like married, before we even knew we were gonna get like this far in the relationship. She wrote that. So like, any of those, if you've heard it before, that's more than likely written by her and probably taken from somebody else. Dude, you say Pokemon lore, yeah, there's a chance that like my wife actually wrote some like romantic Pokemon lore. And just the idea of that there are individuals out there who want to take from that idea, to me, is one, both beautiful, fantastic, and it is why I always try to remember where that's located at, because that is still, to me, the reason I keep it so protected. And I've given it to her since, but I still try to like acknowledge where it is. Like, dude, that's something that like has been important to us to so the first I think she went and she's doing her own thing right now. She's watching some Lord of the Rings stuff because I married a nerd. Shocker. we're both nerds, but we're different kinds. She very much is like into the like whole. She's a very fandom nerd. I am a very factual to the point nerd. Lord of the Rings is the goat. Original Lord of the Rings. If it's anything in like the newer stuff, I don't want to really know. If it's not made by the original fella, I'm okay with not knowing about it. Yeah, no, best trilogy. Dude, I loved the Hobbit series. I got to actually go see hey Han, whenever you got a second, honey buns, if you can come by, I just have a question. If you might know the answer better than I do, because I don't think I have the answer. Also, I call her honey buns because she's got buns like honey. Not that I know via taste, because I'm not about that life.
What's going on?
Do you remember, what was that Hobbit movie that we got to go see with your dad that he got teary-eyed being able to go and see?
It was literally the Hobbit.
Was it the Hobbit? Was it that one? So there was one of the Hobbit movies we got to go see. Was it the one? So was that one?
It was the first
Are you
time
sure?
Hobbit, yeah. I'm pretty sure.
What was the ones that we saw afterwards?
Well, because they broke the Hobbit down into a part 2, so like.
Well, no, hon, you can come to like here. They're not going to see you, but they can still hear you. If you, because I know you don't want to be seen right now. Although she's wearing my favorite Venom shirt. And she's just smiling with her eyebrows and that beautiful dark hair and her like beautiful like Pollock voluptuous body. I know. I'm gonna get yelled at, but guess what? We're gonna make more Jew babies. Because if we have kids, guess what? They're gonna be Jewish by the factual. Yeah, no,
Or by
that.
genes, because I'm Catholic, so I don't
No,
think I technically pass that
no,
on.
but you're a female and you technically have like Jewish blood, so they would technically, we would make Jew babies. We would make Jew babies.
I think you have to be practicing the religion in order to like.
No. I believe by blood. If
I'm not practicing.
no, but Judaism is passed through the mother.
Well,
So
that is true, yes.
So if we had children and they wanted to practice Judaism, they could technically practice it through you.
Yeah.
And I don't believe you would be against that.
I
So,
saw a cop car.
did you really?
I'm not sure.
Oh, dude, Mill's girlfriend is Jewish. Hey, dude, like, Jewish girls, am I right? Okay, so she walked away, but she's smiling. But nonetheless, though, yeah. So my wife made that poem though that I did read. So if there's a lot of things that a sexy Jew claims to have been written, it's my wife. She's walking away, not looking at me because she is very like to herself. Yeah, no, I got me, dude, we're gonna go forever. I know she's probably smiling and looking down at the ground, or she's gonna try to watch her show and not feel much by it. But like, nah, that's my, as in Big Julie Puffs. Hey, word. No, dude, I'll make my wife feel odd talking about her, only because like for me, dude, my family is very like, as not great as they are, like mine is very like, I think if I had to put some kind of sense to it, oh hell yeah, we got an egg. I think on my mom's side, they're very, I would say they're probably more on like the physical aspect of the appearance of, you know, who it is they like. And I think my dad's side does care more so about the personality of the individual or how the individual will work in the relationship. And I think I am a I hope that this is where I meet myself at. And I say myself because that's where I think I am at. I like both. Do you fit what I like physically? But also, like, the personality has to match physicality. Because, as Christopher Titus has said, there is a hot to crazy ratio. And that ratio is so scary. It's a scary line to have to think about. And the hot to crazy ratio is very real. It's very real. I'm not saying my mom is hot, because I am not about that life. That shit is super, like, not cool. Also, I'm gonna find out who joined this VC in my own soiva, because I think I'm still in it. Yeah? No, it's myself. They had left. Oh no, now it's a secret. We'll never know. We'll never know who is in that secret of hot to not ratio. And now their secrets are gonna be forever never known. Isn't that right, Mills? Ratio off the charts. Yeah, no. Supposedly, there was a potential that was my own mother. Potential. I don't know. Not about that life. But from what I know, it's like, okay, hey, if a girl's good looking, there's a real good chance she's gonna cut your nuts off. The chances of that are real. And if it's not your nuts, it might be like your pinky finger. And we all like our pinky fingers. That's what we do swears on. Exactly, Mills. You go haha. But also, like, and exactly like Son Goku, that is totally right. Which is why you have to be careful with interests in your personal life. Be very careful. Because you might actually lose that pinky in your pinky promise. Yeah. So what we're doing right now, though, is we're trying to get that good Cleffa that has 21 in HP and has pretty okay special stats. Because that's what we're looking for mostly in this Cleffa. And as Mills will say, protect your nuts at all cost. And that is a that is a thought that needs to go out upon everybody. Protect them. 100%, dude. So I think what we're trying to look for is something on the lines of like a 10 to 11 special stat. I would like to see 8 in speed. I think I've seen 8 in speed, but what I kind of want to look for is like a 21 in HP. Hey, Bosco. What's up, dude? Oh, that's right. You a slut. And all you want is to, like, feel good. Isn't that right, Bubby? And look at that. As soon as I step away, the daycare man, Eggman, shows up. Protect them, bro. So you guys can't see it, but it's our boy, Bosco. And he's very happy about getting the freaking attention he's given right now. Deposit. Release. Release. While I'm also still petting my dog. What we want to hope for is we want to see a HP stat in 21, while also having somewhat higher stats in a little bit in the speed, only because speed is somewhat. Don't get sad because you walked away before I could give you all my love. Dude, dogs. I love them. But like, dogs will definitely show. Dogs wear their heart on their sleeve more than cats do. But by the time you know that cat has problems with you, there's a potential that the cat already has a personality and they already have their judgment on you, and it's hard to change it without having to earn their love. Whereas the dog is like, you'll earn my love, just give it like 15 minutes. And that's how a dog is. Dogs will earn your love in a handful of minutes, but a cat requires your love. Of course, the wife will not agree with me because she's like, no, cats are wonderful and a cat loves you. No, a cat loves you if you provide for the cat. And those of us who have owned a cat know that. Dude, look at that Eggman. It's the Eggman. Hey, look at that. We have no idea, but your Pokemon, it was holding an egg. And, here you go. I don't know what to do with this. If I hold your egg, it's not doing a gosh darn thing. Why did you try to ride a bike in my house? That's rude. So now we're trying to hope for a 21 in HP. And I kind of hope for an 8 in speed. Not required. 21 in HP. And then nice numbers in special. Dogs are better than creatures 100%. The problem is that's speculation. Some people like cats more. Some people do, and it's very much, it's based off of personality, man. Some people are more cat people. Sadly, it's a perception. But if you believe that dogs are 100% better than cats, you can leave a like if you like. And if you think cats are better than dogs, you should also leave a like and let me know which one you like more in the comments section specifically. But at the end of the day, what's a better pet is very opinionative. It's based off an individual. It's an opinion. You can't say one is better over than the other, because somebody's going to tell you why you're wrong and another person will tell you why you're right. It's an opinion, and that's a huge bummer of it. I personally like dogs more, but I also see where the positives in a cat lie. But cats are they have more personality than a dog does. And that's not to say one's better than the other. Yeah, and dude, hamsters, like Mills, when it comes to hamsters, and that's like crazy, is that like there's some people that may not remember a freaking hamster in their life. But like hamsters are also very personable. And hamsters are adorable, but they are also very personable. If you have a hamster but you never actually give it like a human interaction, a hamster is gonna seem like a poor pet. But hamsters actually can, like, especially if you start them at a young age. Had a hamster, she passed away. We did. I know Son Goku is not gonna remember. I believe, and they were there for it. But we actually used to have a hamster. We had a hamster named LeBron. And Son Goku is not gonna remember anything about it. We actually had a hamster named LeBron. Around the same time, we had a kitten named I can't remember if it was Midnight or like Nightshade or something. It was actually one of the kittens from a cat we had named Emerald, and she was a lady. Like she, that kitten didn't make it. But we also had a hamster named LeBron, who, I mean, lived long, but like, I'm pretty sure our cats like scared the piss out of it and just like ruined that thing. But LeBron was what you would consider a second-hand hamster. I think if LeBron would have been with us from like day one, it could have potentially had like a better time, but sadly did not. I don't know, but that was like a very weird point in our lives. Like, we had like that cat. Oh no, that cat may have been named Smokey. But he wouldn't know because he was way too young for that. We had a cat while we were living in a house. I won't say what street we lived on, and I hope that our family does not share what house we lived on. But it was a cat that it sadly did not make it. But we had neighbors who knew way more about cats, stuff that we did, and sadly they did try to take it to a vet to try to help make the cat better. It didn't make it, but we never forgot that was like an experience that we had, and it was very nice that we had the cats that lived past that's one sibling. Yeah, it's it's big stuff. And Bosco, you weren't even born when that happened. That's the crazy part. Is I have a dog who I know like this boy. This boy was not even anywhere near the point of that cat being born. And yet, like, when was it? This is 7.5 plus. It's 25. 2018-ish, you were like born. You didn't even exist when that cat was like a concern of ours. When time, when people need to have like an understanding of like how time works. That's how time works, man. Like, there's an individual in my life right now, like when he goes, he's gonna be huge seeing gone. It's gonna fuck me up. But there's a point in time where there was a kitten who had just made it into the world that we didn't know was gonna be an important life moment. And this guy didn't even exist and wasn't going to exist for years later afterwards. Like, it's like things like that I realized, like, as a kid, you weren't going to understand how time worked. And then once you truly find out how time works, you're like, oh, wow, I'm going to have to, like, I need to take a minute and think about that stuff. And those are the things in life that's like, and you know what, hey, we're playing Pokemon Crystal. We're playing Pokemon Crystal. You don't want to know about that stuff. But at the same time also, it's gonna happen, and the chances of it are out there and is real. And it's gonna be one of those crazy moments where you're gonna be like, wow, I'm there right now, and you didn't even know it. But you'll appreciate it. You'll appreciate it 10 years from now. You'll appreciate it 15 years from now. You might appreciate it 5 years from now. And you might appreciate it 7 years from now. But time is one of those like fantastic things where just because you appreciate it now doesn't mean somebody else is, but you did. And what I appreciate is that this smells nice, and everybody in my life, while it smells nice, we're all happy. And we're very happy while this smells good. And we're hoping that we get that sweet Cleffa that's got 21 in HP. And its special stats are more than likely gonna not be too crazy different. And I want its defense to be about the same. Those are the things that I care about at this moment. And we don't have to worry about the future. Look at that, 21. Blealoop. And Amnesia. 11, 10. 7 is fine. 8 and 8. You know what? We're going to relax right now with that number. So if the, let's see. Yeah. The Pokemons. So Cleffa, that first one at 21. If the other two eggs that I get, if their numbers are not better compared to that one, we're sticking with that first Cleffa that we got. Hey, if you got nicknames, let me know a nickname for a Clefable that you would want to see. What's a nickname for a Clefable that you want to see? I might want to pick the name if there's more than one. But right now, I think that Clefairy has a nickname that I'd like to give. And if there's other nicknames that you'd like to see for something like a Chikorita, Charmander. Yes, we got Charmander, Chikorita. Um, yeah, Cleffa. And then in the future, we have a Arcanine, which will be at first a Growlithe. But we're building a Pika Cup right now, a team for Pika Cup. What's a name that you want to see for those mods? Hey, this dude's back. So Growlithe, Clefable. Well, I guess Arcanine, Clefable. Meganium. Well, Meganium for my shiny only crystal run. Which, you know what? Yeah, no, Pika Cup. Oh yeah, Pika Cup is gonna be something totally different. That's right. Right now, I guess we're going for mods for a Pika Cup. So, like, are there names? Electro right now has a name that cannot change because the Electrode is coming from the Doris trade. So, sadly, that is not a name that can be picked. Growlithe will be able to have its name picked. Cleffa will have its name picked. Cleffa, which is that. And we're not going for the shiny right now. Shiny is going to be something way later on. And that's going to be a significant ball game. And right now, it's not winning that game. So, like, you see, like, 6, 10, 11, and then 8. It's like, yeah, that. But your speed is 7. And 21 for HP. So, like, right now, like, this one is definitely losing compared to this one. And this one is in our number 2 slot. And right now, that's how it's looking at. So, and you guys are gonna see in the here near soon what our team for Pika Cup is gonna look like. Unless I had like a Hypno with Amnesia and was gonna be able to have Amnesia low level whatever, I would not care too much. I said like I thought Amnesia was a move for Drowsy in Gen 2, but apparently it's not. Or if it is, it's like one of those moves where it's like you get it through either Stadium 2, or whatever else. I don't have the means for that right now. I think the most I have is like a Farfetch from Stadium 2 that is able to have Swords Dance, Baton Pass, and Agility. And sadly, Farfetch does not have the stats to support being a Baton Passer. And even back in Gen 2 days, they knew how important Baton Pass was going to be. Which is why they made sure that they were like, we're going to give you a low, like, in total mon, it's low. But we understand how significant Baton Pass is going to be in the future. Which is why you see, like, in Smogon and other stuff, like, people hate Baton Pass. And I think Gen 3 right now has the most complications for Baton Pass as a move. Ninja specifically did not help that argument whatsoever. And there's even a few mods like back in like Gen 2 era where it's like, yeah, they have a chance in future gens, and I mean in general, having difficulty having to be surrounded in their usability, and then Baton Pass. So like right now we have like this Cleffa, which I might use for my Gen 1 Pika Cup run. I know, I'm not in the right place for it. But let me go check out real quick. After we talk to Alan, let's see the shiny Pokemon list. I've studied quite a bit since then, and he's telling us where he's hanging out at. When we come back, we will go and talk to Alan. Oh, you know what? Alright, hey, you know what? If you've been buddies with a pet long enough, you know when they're trying to tell you something. I know that you're a needy bitch. If you guys don't mind, Give me like 10 minutes. I will be right back. Mills, you will see what Pokemon we have right now in Gen 2. But let me go take out our boy Bosco. And I think he needs to go potty. I will be right back. If you need to adjust your volumes, the music might be a little bit louder than what you're used to. Like I said, 10-ish minutes. I will be back. And you guys are beautiful. Appreciate your support. Whether it's a like or a comment, let me know how I do. You beautiful kid. In the words of Sally the Fuzz Budget, you're beautiful. Un memento por favor. Grab your tail. You don't like it, and we move to a win. Well, hey, look at that. There we go. Back to normal games. Killer. Yeah, but you already had my attention. Yeah, you don't get to have it anymore. I'm sorry, my buddy. Let's see the shiny. Oh, that's right. Mills wants to see the shinies. That's right. Hell yeah, dude. There's already a save file. Look at that, dude. 47 hours and I only have 3 badges. If that doesn't tell you how serious I have been when it comes to, like, shinies. It's that serious. He is so crazy. Based off of, like, the basic shenanigans. So, we got this Charmander. And that's if anybody's even still here. We got this Charmander. Look at that thing. Look how precious he is. All golden and stuff. We got Chikorita. Look at that thing. Hard work, dude. Absolutely. Look at that Chikorita. With a Giga Drain. And that shaky booty. Chikorita. We got Batgirl. Look how minty it looks. It looks like if you bit into that thing, you'd be like... Ooh, minty. That's how Chikorita is. And then you get Night Knight, the Dragonite. Future Dragonite, but that's Dratini, and that's with Thunderbolt and Surf and Ice Beam. That is 2 TM moves that I do not intend to keep on it. No, actually, I do not intend to keep Leer and Surf. Ice Beam and Thunderbolt I think are going to be long-term moves, but it's mostly because the only other move that's really good on it is like Outrage. And that's at this point now, based off of how like the bad girl will come after you. Nah, dude, in Gen 2, you have to be very like, you have to try very hard with a Crobat being something of note back then. Mostly because the moves that are best on a Crobat, which is what you want to try to get at this point, is like Toxic and Rest, maybe Sleep Talk, and then like Whirlwind. And you want to have that thing paired with a Spikes setter. There's not really too much you can do. And this is coming from somebody who really likes Crobat. There's not much you can do with Crobat in Gen 2. That's what's a real bummer. Which is why we have Chikorita and Charmander. It's going to do great. And then we have Onix and Togepi are going to be like the other 2 that we're going to get. And then I have Totodile at some point is What are other starters gonna have to be? Because I already have Charmander, and I don't want two fire starters. I don't want two. So I think it's gonna end up being then Totodile, and then there's gonna have to be a sixth member that everybody else is gonna have to decide on. And as of right now, when it comes to like this side, it's like this Cleffa is gonna have to be my best one, and that Cleffa is also gonna still have to be evolved at some point into a Clefairy, because I can't send it to an on Gen 1 game while it's still a Cleffa. Not possible, because Cleffa didn't exist in Gen 1. And I need to use it for Pika Cup, because we're setting up for Pika Cup right now. And everybody knows that Amnesia in Gen 1 is the shit, so this is technically going to be a trade back Clefairy with Amnesia. Amnesia, trade back Clefairy with Thunderbolt, at some point Ice Beam, yeah, Thunderbolt, maybe Bubble Beam, and then Psychic, something else, whatever. And I mean, like, this Clefable is gonna be the shit, and it might even carry most of Pika Cup. But I want to make sure that I have a good number of things, and I want to give myself variety when I have this Pika Cup team made, which I believe most people want to have that with a Pika Cup team in Stadium 1, because that's what we're building towards, man. Like, the Stadium 1, I'm still doing it. I mean, a year or so later, it's gonna be awesome. Epic shiny list, hell yeah, dude. And you know what? That shiny list is only gonna grow because I still need shiny Onix. I still need shiny Togepi. But I definitely need a break from shiny Onix. Dude, that Onix is just being like the biggest headache. And then after we get Onix, we have to get that Togepi. And Togepi does have a lower egg cycle, which is nice. But just because it has a lower egg cycle does not necessarily mean we're going to get it that soon. So right now, the hope is that we get our Cleffa soon. And then I will have to, whatever the Cleffa we end up choosing to use for Stadium 1, I will have to keep it in my party so that it gets the Togepi treatment where it is with us long enough to build the high enough friendship to evolve it. Because right now we kind of don't have that. Because it's going to be this. Deposit. This is not my, this is not my HP 21. Release. By Cleffa. Stats. This is not my 21 HP Cleffa, so release. Yeah, craziness. I know, right? Stats. Look at that. 21 with 18, 8, 11, and a 10, and a 7. If I can get like 9, 8, 10, 11, and 8, I would love that. But that's a perfect world. We don't live in a perfect world. We live in a world that like wants us to have semi-bare minimums and then like higher than average. And right now, with round 1, I'm okay with higher than average. It's more so the question. It's not so much the question of can you do it. It's should I do it. And I would really like a lot of these mons to be able to translate efficiently to round 2. Because I don't want to just do round 1 Pokemon Stadium and be done. I want to do round 2 stuff. And I know the stuff that I have for round 2, like 100 and above stuff, the Gym Leader Castle, we're fine. And Gen 1 standards, absolutely fine. But I want these like lower cups to be a little bit nicer. Like I said, I would love to have a Growlithe, or I guess at this point it's gonna be it's gonna be a Clefable with Amnesia. That's going to be fantastic in Gen 1. Because special is one stat. So it's Clefable that's going to have 2x2 special attack and special defense all at once. That's going to be fantastic. You are so greedy, and I can't feed into your greediness. Yeah, no, you're happy, but I can't let you think that you run the house, because you don't, my guy. Such a good shiny list. And it's so weird too, because like I have a shepherd mix, and the problem is that like those fellas, they very much are like, they are a hierarchy species. I think that's like the terminology. Want to borrow my shoddy? What does that mean? Oh, rifle otaku. But they like very much run on like, are you gonna let me walk all over you? And then I might walk all over you. And there are some doggos, as much as we love them, we cannot let them know that they have the potential to run all over us. Isn't that right, buddy? You can know I love you, but I can't let you know that you potentially run my life. Because we're friends, and I love you. But I also know how you guys think. And you're precious, and I love you, and I will make sure you stay fit. But at the same time also, I can't let you have the idea that you run how I do things. Because if I did, well then shoot, I couldn't go to work and be able to do my own thing without you being like, he didn't give me butt pats at like this hour, and that's gonna affect you. Because you're smart. You're not dumb. Which sucks. Hush phone. See, I can say hush to a phone, because a phone doesn't know what hush means. But this guy will know what a hush means. See, like the fact that I even stop and he looks back, he's like, what? He doesn't like that at all. And he's like stopped right now, and he's thinking. And then he's gonna turn around, and he's gonna stop, and he's gonna look at me with these like deceptive eyes, and he's gonna be like, why aren't you paying attention to me? And I'm gonna be like, dude, I can't, because if I pay attention to you, then you won. And you know that, I know you know that, but if I let you know that I know that you know I know that I lost. So it's this weird game where he has to like know like, hey, I love you, but like, you don't run this shit. It's what the scientists and the scholars call that fine line. Still a cool ringtone? Oh, dude, what's the cool ringtone? Are you talking about like Goldenrod, or are you talking about like the bike theme? Like, dude, bike theme? Bike theme is 100% such a good ringtone. Do 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 do. Like, yeah, now like that, yeah, I think that's like a good ringtone for that. Super good. I don't think we're gonna get that though. I don't know though. I don't know. Dude, I mean, like, if there's like a, if I had to pick a ringtone from, I mean, anybody wants to answer this, for games that are like, that have a sound bite. Like for me, like right now, I use Ikum Bokum from Banjo-Kazooie. But if there's like a soundbite that you wanted to use from a video game that you're like, this is one of my go-to games, what is yours? Like I said, mine, Ikum Bokum from Banjo-Kazooie, but it works also because Ikum Bokum is also in Banjo-Tooie, and like you can kind of isolate it a little bit. So you're 21. Okay, so it's, I need to make sure I know where I'm at. So we have you, you're fine. So I need to gather a couple of Cleffa with 21 in HP. And I need to build a repertoire. I need to build that. Oh, and that's right, because I'm off of like Super Jobro stuff. I need like a good thing to get into. Well, and I can't force it. So I think I can look here and see what's like the other thing I can listen to. There's a Cracker Barrel situation. No, what's going on with Cracker Barrel? What's going on with Cracker Barrel? Ah, gee willikers. Oh, wow. Oh, man. No, I cannot give you all my love. I'm sorry. Yeah. Golly jeepers. But yeah, I'm just chilling out in my own server, which you can go and hang out. You know what? I don't want to listen to like sadness. I don't want to listen to sad. I want to listen to like music. Yeah. But not that kind of music. I'm gonna close this up. We're gonna open up a YouTube music. Because right now we're just hanging out with some like this stuff. Bubble Gloop Swamp. Hell yeah, dude. We're gonna listen to some Bubble Gloop Swamp. This is a cool ringtone, dude. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff within Zen 2 that I think, like soundbite wise, makes a lot of really good ringtones. There's a lot of them though. I mean, just like dun 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 dun. It's still a very good ringtone noise, and that could be used for multiple things. I mean, just even like healing them on dun 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 dun. A very good ringtone to have. Gen 2 has a lot of good sound bites that you can use for ringtones, and even for some like too, it's like, yeah, I think this sound bite is very good. Well, what's the sound bite from? Well, it's from this. Okay, but like, what scenario is that from? I didn't know it was like a specific sound bite scenario. Yes, it is. Older games harder to do, but once you got like Gen 3 onwards, it gets a little bit more difficult to decide what things end up coming from. That does potentially end up leading within it. But yeah, the like, I mean, like the epic shiny list. Yeah, like it's Charmander, Chikorita, Batgirl, because it's a Zubat, and then you got Dratini. But I want to use Dratini and Zubat. I want to use that in my own personal stuff. Right now, I have it to where I'm going to be using like Clefairy for this Gen 1 Clefairy, which at some point will have to be a Gen 1 Clefairy. As long as it has Amnesia, it's fine. 21, okay. 8, 8, 10, 11, 7. 8, 8, 10, 11, 7. So, like, right now, you guys are the same. So, you guys are not different. I have the potential to have 2 more Cleffa that could be a very good Clefairy that will have Amnesia. I trade them over, and it's going to be like, you know, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Bubble Beam, and then Amnesia. That's what I want with a Clefairy, because there's not too many other non-normal, and out of all the other moves, special-wise, where I think Clefairy is going to end up being useful. No held items, but I mean, Amnesia is very good. So yeah, like I said, I mean, if you can predict well enough, you get like turn 1, Amnesia, Clefable, and if it's quick enough, it's going to outspeed most things, get the stat boost up early enough, and then we're going to have it where It's gonna be like like a body slam if I get the normal move, amnesia, which is gonna be like guaranteed, and then you get like ice beam, bubble beam, one of those two, or it's gonna be like it's gonna be determined later on. Are we gonna use thunderbolt? I don't know. I think the chances of that are being extremely high though. I think by the end of it, it's gonna be like amnesia, bubble beam, thunderbolt, ice beam. Makes the most sense to me to be have it be that way. If I get a shiny Cleffa, hey, that's cool. But I think I'm gonna end up calling it here soon. I've already been doing this for an hour. That's pretty neat. 20, 8, 8, 11, 10, 7. So like, yeah. So like right now, there's kind of like nothing that like wants me to try to utilize anything from like somebody else. So I think we're gonna end up going with like one of the first couple. But I have a way where I may want to check the IVs of the ones that we have looked at right now. I have a way of being able to look at like what the number is gonna be later on, and we're gonna use those ones. And I think tomorrow, depending on how things go, if I'm up early enough, we're gonna have it to where we see leveling up and everything else, actual proper DV IV training, not EV. IV is additional. DV and EV training of a lot of mons, and if not money making through Gen 1 yellow, a lot of money making in that stuff. I think that's where it's going to end up going towards, because I want to try to have everybody have the potential to get 10 in most, if not every stat, or at least a stat's going to be most important to them. A stat that's important to everybody in Gen 1 is speed, of course. A stat that I think ends up being next best, special. But it's because special back then is not just only special defense, but special attack. So it's going to be like speed and special. First ones. If you know it's a mon that is, its expectation is not going to be anything on the special side, then yeah, like, okay, I don't care if it goes up there and it's got like stuff in the low numbers based off of special attack. I don't care if those are low, because it's like it's gonna forever be low. So those are those things that I have to keep in mind when I'm building up these teams, because right now we're going for Pika Cup, and this Pika Cup looks like it's gonna be a, I mean, we can find out after the set hatches. The mons that are going to be, and I don't want to have like a multiple that are going to be useful for each cup. I want to have a set team of 6 that will work for said cup, and if they end up not being for that said one, is it like a plug and play kind of scenario? But like at some point within a, I don't want to use the word expedited, because that is a word that goes beyond my what it is I'm able to like actually perform. I can't say that like it's going to be used for that. I can't guarantee it. 8, 8, 10, 11, 7. 8, 8, 10, 11, 7. 8, 8, 10, 11, 7. 8, 8, 10, 11, 7. 8, 8, 10, 11, 7. 8, 8, 10, 11, 7. 8, 8, 10, 11, 7. 8, 8, 10, 11, 7. So sadly, everybody here that has a mon that has his HP at above 21, if I want to be really specific, and I will end up being specific for y'all in the future, and it'll end up being like tomorrow. You guys will know tomorrow, whatever mon ends up being like in the party. It's going to be the Cleffa that's going to stick around with us, and it's going to end up being the Clefairy for our Gen 1 run. And then after that, then all we have to do is make the Growlithe, because I think we have the other 4, and we can guarantee it now. So, quit, yeah. Massive. Okay, so One player, yeah? One player. So let's check out this Pokemon over here. So this is 12 is, so there's Dragonair, our level 15 Dragonair, Abra, which will be an Alakazam. It will be a level 17 Alakazam. Dragonair, I think these two will be our level 17s. Everybody else will be 16. So the way that the math ends up working is that we can have one level 17, and then if we have one level 17, then we have the potential for two level 16s, and we don't go past the maximum level total out of those three. We can have three level 16s, no problem. But if it comes to 17s, we can have like one or two, and then it's going to be the last one that's going to make a difference. So Abra is going to be at level 16 because its BST is very high. Labra is very high. Dragonair is very high, but I want it to be higher compared to the others, mostly because of its typing. And then you got Doris. Doris is just going to be fantastic. Doris has a very high potential because it's Gen 1. I think I might want to have it be where it's like it ends up being a little bit more important. And this is going to be one that's going to have like Explosion, Thunder, or Thunderbolt, and then Thunder Wave. I think that's where the potential ends up being for that. And then the other two mons are going to be, like I said, it's going to be Amnesia Clefable, which will be Clefairy first. And then the other one is going to be a Growlithe. But Growlithe will end up having to be a mon that is going to end up having like TMs that are going to be like its big thing. And it's going to be a very strong Arcanine that's going to be available like early on. That's where I'm at right now when it comes to these. So if there's anybody who's hanging out right now, in the future, I would love it if you guys try to go for leaving likes, and it's like, you know, what are the expectations that you hope to see when it comes to, you know, Dragonair and everybody else. And then tomorrow we're going to be doing DKC. I hope everybody's ready for DKC tomorrow, and I look forward to doing that with everybody else. Thank you much, and it's almost midnight. Good night, and happy midnight to everybody else. Toodles.